Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive online training session on secure practices for digital gaming. Well, today is day 4 of the training session and we are organizing this training session under this umbrella topic of secure practices for digital gaming. You're watching us live on PME Vidya channels from 6 to 12 and also on our YouTube channel Ncert Official. Well, if you want to participate in the session, please take down our phone number, which is 8800440559. You can also write an email to us on email ID training.helpdesk@cert.nic.in. Since you are watching us live on our YouTube channel Ncert Official, you can always go to the comment section, put in your questions, suggestions, feedback there and reach out to us. Well, I would like to apprise you that this training session is organized by CIET NCERT in collaboration with ISEAC DAC from Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And on day 4, the topic that we have taken up is cyberbullying, online grooming and related threats with security measures. To have this complete discussion on the topic and to throw some important insights on the same, we have our expert with us. We are joined by Ms. P. Simi. Ma'am is content lead from ISEAC DAC, Hyderabad, Telangana. Ma'am, namaskar and welcome to the session.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm happy to join the session and thanks CIET for giving the opportunity for sharing our information and expertise on this particular topic.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So without any further ado, I request you to kindly go ahead with the presentation on the topic of cyberbullying, online grooming and related threats with security measures.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome everyone to the session on secure practices for digital gaming. In today's session of online gaming related threats, we will be actually looking into what online gaming is, the kind of the craze which the online gaming has got in the current cyber world, with especially the children and the teens. And then we will be proceeding on to check out the threats related to the online gaming, especially not the technical threats that were earlier dealt with in this series of sessions which were conducted on the online gaming, but something related to cyberbullying and online grooming, which the children will be facing, the children and the teens will be facing when they are actually browsing online and especially on the online gaming platforms.
Right.
So as you all know today, in today's cyber world, online gaming is a growing part of the modern entertainment and a favorite pastime for the children, teens and adults alike. Though the world of online gaming offers very exciting and some positive benefits also, it is not, we cannot rule out the dangerous threats that it poses, and therefore it is required that we deal with it, we understand that, become aware about this particular threats like grooming, bullying, gaming addiction and the negative effects of it, and then know the measures of how to protect ourselves in this particular online world and in the game in the world of online gaming. So proceeding further, next slide please. Okay, proceeding further, no, the previous slide, no, the second one, online gaming. Yeah. So proceeding further, let us now understand what online gaming is. Online gaming refers to the video games played over the internet, allowing the real-time interaction between the players. As you all know, online gaming offers a world of exciting opportunities for its users to engage as means of entertainment, fun, relaxation, interaction with the peers. So this online gaming, if we look into the kind of adaptation which the current teenagers and the children are having, this is mainly because of the interactive features that it offers and the unique experience that it offers, and also because of the social environment in today's, especially when since the COVID had begun, when we were all tied to the screens. And before that also, with the advent of the internet and also the digital devices, wherein everything was accessible to us at on our laps, I mean through our laptops and in our palm tops, through the mobiles and the laptops, it was very easier and convenient for people to sit at the place where they were comfortable and access things which earlier they found in actual real time environments like playgrounds or when they went out to meet people and all. So all this access to the internet, the availability of the digital devices, the comfort of the home, the limited limitations of the societal norms, the environment and the scenarios, all this contributed for the people to rely on resources like online gaming platforms for their entertainment, as well as education, as well as relaxation, as well as interaction. So this is what actually led to the to the growth of usage of not only the digital devices but also platforms like online gaming. So, as you can see that the mode of gaming has grown significantly with the advancement of internet connectivity and the mobile device accessibility. So the online games can range, and when we said that the online game have become very rampant and being used by children and adults alike, this is because it has given platforms wherein people can not only access simple online games like Candy Crush and all, but they also have access to multiplayer games, which gives them not only the excitement and the thrill of interaction, but also of winning rewards and having that achievement, a sense of achievement. So all this led to the rampant use and the excessive use of online gaming. So when we go on to the next slide of benefits of the online games, which is the benefits of the online games. Here we can see that though we are talking about, the excessive use, when we think of has it got benefits at all? The online gaming platforms, has it got any benefits at all? Yeah, thank you. Now the screen is actually visible. Uh, so now, when we look at the benefits of the online games, there are some benefits which we can stress upon, like it provides stress relief and relaxation, and it provides eye-hand coordination. If you don't mind, can I see that screen of the PPT?
I request the technical team to kindly show the PPT on screen. Yes, ma'am, it will be
Okay.
showed in a while. Please continue.
Yeah. So when we look at the benefits of the online games, it not only provides that excitement and interaction which we just talked about a few minutes earlier, it also provides the uh, stress relief, and in the children, this kind of games also help in eye-hand coordination. It provides them learning opportunities. When you look at the various kinds of the games which are available right now, you can see that there are games which actually teach children ABCDs in a rhyme format. There are games which
आप
actually,
मुझे एक बारी विजुअल
assist children in drag and drop, pull and push. And those kind of games actually help the children in building their creativity, their imagination, giving them the learning opportunities. They also help them in their cognitive skill development, goal setting, and achievement. So these are some of the benefits which we can derive from online gaming. However, this will be the benefits only when we actually knowingly and with awareness and with proper aware choices, make choice of such educative online games which give us the opportunity to reap the benefits of such particular kinds and limit them to certain extent. It is only then that these benefits can be reaped by us by making conscious choices. So now proceeding, let us see what is the scenario currently. To what extent is this particular online gaming uh, mm, I mean, used in the current cyber scenario? In this slide, which is the next slide, will be giving us the statistics about the current usage of online games in India. Next slide, please. So as per the report, India has the second largest gaming community globally with over 455 million gamers. So this is as per the report. So as you can see, the growth of the user penetration in online gaming in India is scaling up year by year and is reaching higher and higher range. And it is also shown that the revenue of Indian online gaming market is expected to reach 2.4 billion by 2029, and it is growing at a robust 20% growth rate as per the current statistics. In another figure of in another figure of the PPT, as you can see, we can see that when a survey was conducted as to with various Indian families, asking them how much is the average time per day the children are spending, children especially in the age group of 9 to 17 are spending on social media, videos or online games, a staggering 61% of the responses showed that children are between the age of 9 to 17 are spending from anywhere between 3 to 6 hours on various online activities which include online games. 33% of the respondents indicated that their children are into online gaming like Minecraft, PUBG, Fortnite, FIFA, etc. Next slide, please. So, as these particular statistics, we can infer through these statistics that online gaming is actually being used, and it is being, India is becoming a major consumer. India, the children, the population of India is being a major consumer of online gaming, and therefore it requires us to make a assessment as to where are we going making use of this online games. Are we making conscious choices, or are we making unaware choices and which are leading to the threats? Now let us look into what leads to this popularity of the online games, especially among children, and what makes them get influenced by these online games. So the factors which mainly make them engaged with this online games are the entertaining factor and the engaging factors, the realistic graphics, the storylines which they provide, the immediate satisfaction, the immediate kick of that particular achievement which they get, and increasing that particular levels and immediate reward system which they provide, all of these which they do not find immediately to their satisfaction in the real world, they find an escapism, or they escape into this kind of an online game environment where they have that where they immediately get that satisfaction and the sense of achievement through these particular online games. So engaging and entertaining content through the online games make it a popular choice among children and teens. The social connection, as you can see, as it was discussed also earlier, in the current scenario, we can see that the more and the more we are limiting ourselves to to our homes, and the restricting ourselves to a single family homes and all, with most of the parents working and all, today's children, we can see, are more and more dependent on online connection for having their social interactions. So with these social interactions being the major source of their interacting with their peers and the students, this is a opportunity. The online gaming gives them an opportunity for the social connection that they want to build, and the sense of social identity which they're looking for. They try to actually look through these online games. Apart from that, as it was already discussed, with the advent of technology and the digital media, the very easy access of online devices and the internet has made it a popular choice, has made online gaming a popular choice among the children. The reward mechanisms, as it was already mentioned, the reward mechanisms ensure the gaming platforms and the gaming service providers itself, they ensure that the game is designed in such a way that the users are given that thrill of achievement within a few minutes, and that builds to the next level and to the next level, and they are glued to the game. They are made to get glued into the particular game. That is how the gaming companies are designing the games. Apart from this, yes, there are certain learning opportunities, but it is depending upon the choice of the games that enables the learning opportunities also. So these are few of the key factors that are influencing or actually contributing to the rapid popularity of the online games. So can we proceed to the next slide, please? Okay. Now that we have seen the benefits, let us also look into the negative. Does it have, I mean, yes, this is something that we are here to discuss about today. Does it have the negative impacts? Yes. The online gaming influences the child or its users in case it is not used in limited and conscious way. It has certain negative impacts, and this negative impacts affects has several components or categories. It affects them physically, it affects them mentally, it affects them psychologically also. Of course, as you can see, in the physical impacts, it contributes to when the child or when the person is continuously playing the online games, it contributes to the physical posture being strained. A continuous single posture and continuous looking at the screen makes the eye strain and actually affects the eyesight. Poor postures leads to musculoskeletal problems like these tennis elbow or your sciatica, or you have this spondylitis problems. I mean, you can see that the young generation are more and more prone to physical ailments more than before. The earlier generation were not prone to so many physical problems as the current generation are facing at an early age right now. One of the factor is prolonged use of the computers, digital devices, and online games are one of the factors contributing to that extended use. Sleep deprivation and sleep disruption. The Once the game is started, the users are so glued or so much into the game that they actually compensate their sleep to win more and more levels, to win more rewards, and this leads to sleep deprivation and therefore various other problems related to physical health. It impacts them mentally also. It reduces their focus on their daily activities, their daily routines, their hygiene, their personal hygiene, their eating habits, leads to lower academic performance, leads to anxiety and stress. They are put to stress and anxiety because they have to perform. They want to up their performance in the online games. They want to compete with their peers. They have that peer pressure also, and they want that excitement even more than before as they level up their particular game. So there's more anxiety, there's more stress, and because of excess amount of the time which they have spent, there is a physical impact which makes them strained and stressed and anxious, which leads to further irritation and further psychological disorders also. There's a cognitive overload because they have to do multitasking about various other things. There's a cognitive overload too, which actually affects them badly. Apart from that, there are psychological impacts also. Like people, when they are into this online gaming, we can see that at a stretch they spend, as we have seen the statistics, they spend more than sometimes more than 6+ hours are also spent on this online gaming,
Yeah.
which leads them to social isolation. That is, they hardly interact with the people around. For them, the interaction is limited to only their only their peers whom they interact with in the online games, which limits their social skills, which limits their real-time interaction, real-time play, their engagement with their sensory, all the sensory organs. So which, what happens is, this leads to aggression, this leads to irritation, this leads to depression, social isolation, addiction, and thereby you can see that the whole personality of the being or the user will start deteriorating. So these are grave negative impacts that needs to be looked into when we are talking about online gaming or digital device usage per se. Next slide, please. So when we talked about these particular negative impacts, are there any real instances that we know about or we can refer to regarding this negative impacts that which we have just talked about? These are a few clippings of the newspapers which I have put forward for your reference. It refers to a particular kid called Himanshu Mishra, who's a 22-year-old 22-year-old very bright student who scored 98% in his JEE and was an IIT aspirant. But due to this online gaming addiction, he had been dragged into a debt of 96 lakh, and his family had to disown him. And he you can actually read about this, and there's also video which is put across, in which he himself, you can see the child. We never could even imagine that he's such a bright student who had been dragged into such kind of an online gaming addiction, and who actually had to suffer because of it so badly. So this is the reality. If it is going unchecked, then this is what this kind of an effect is also seen on the children, is what this kind of a story or the news clipping here indicates for you, and is a wake-up call and a warning sign for all the parents, teachers, to actually understand what kind of risks, financial risks it poses, financially, mentally, psychologically, physically, and therefore come in terms with the need to grapple with it and to address this issue very seriously. Then there are more such clippings which are put across for you here. A dad in Iraq and the teen brothers. Here it talks about teen brothers who actually use the digital devices of the parents, and through the in-gaming purchases, they lose 6.5 lakhs in an online game in UP, and dad is not available to cross-check, to see. Another instance wherein a 23-year-old student loses money in an online gaming, steals and sells Royal Enfield Bullet bike to recover the losses. Another very shocking incident which I could actually, see when I was browsing through to actually collate the content and all. An online gaming, a 16-year boy who was asked to stop. I mean, his mother had pulled away his gaming resources and asked him to, stop playing online for an extended period of time. And I mean, not bearing that particular separation, and not having that particular patience to understand why the mother is saying, the boy kills his mother. The boy kills his mother and actually does not let it come out until 2 days. And while he also, I mean, if you go into the story, it's so horrifying. In fact, the story, the clipping, when we read through it, it says that he doesn't even shows a remorse when it is found out that his mother is dead and he is responsible for it. He killed his mother, and when he's counseled, there's no remorse also. So this is what violent games, the exposure to online gaming addiction can lead to if it goes unchecked. And this is a wake-up call for all the parents and the teachers, once again stressing on that. Next slide, please. The government also, there is a, I mean, to just put in, to just highlight the uh, importance of why this particular online gaming is gaining so much of importance. Concerned over violent online games and their impact on children's health, the NCP MP in a recent, in a recent public meeting, one of the minister of parliament urges center to regulate the content because they have observed that these kind of cases are growing, and India being the major consumer, it can have very much a negative effect. In Tamil Nadu, one of the report says that in Tamil Nadu, 30% of the people are glued to their online gaming sites and all. So online gaming addictions turning children into violent, irritant, they lose interest in any other particular activity, and also leads to mental and physical disorders. So all these are indicating to one fact that yes, gaming can have digital devices, technology can have its own benefits, but when used consciously, when used in an aware way, when used in a limited pattern, it can provide those benefits to the users. But when left unchecked, it can have grave, dangerous, threatening consequences. Apart from the data and the personal and the financial threats, it can deteriorate the person's mental condition, psychological condition, and bring down the personality of the individual itself, which is why it becomes very much important to deal with it. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. So the online gaming, when we are talking about those negative impacts at physical, mental, and psychological levels, we had seen at what are the vulnerabilities. Now let us directly look at the potential risks and the dangers. Here is where we come into the talking about the threats which the online gaming can pose apart from the addiction related problems that we had talked about. It also poses additionally some problems like cyberbullying, online predators, like online grooming can be a major problem. Then inappropriate content, sexual violent content is also shown, just to attract teenagers, and many other inappropriate contents are also shown in the online gaming. It can lead to addiction, as we just said. In-game purchases and scams related to in-game purchases are also rampant. Then data privacy risks, which will lead to phishing attacks, which will lead to social engineering attacks, which can lead to hacking of accounts. All those are also possible. Malware attacks are also possible, which will take control on your devices and then give away your information and take control of your devices. So this kind of potential risks and dangers are also possible with online gaming. Let us look at each of those particular dangers or the potential risks that which we mentioned about, concentrating upon cyberbullying, online grooming, and the gaming addiction specifically in today's session. When we're talking about cyberbullying, let us understand what cyberbullying is. Cyberbullying is basically an intimidating online behavior wherein you can be targeting on an online public platform with threatening, humiliating, embarrassing, and harassing posts or acts. So, as the definition itself makes it very clear, that bullying is a kind of an intimidating or a behavior, a kind of online behavior which makes the person psychologically and mentally disturbed by attacking them in an online platform continuously with their humiliating and embarrassing remarks, and harassing them continuously at various levels. In online gaming especially, it will basically be humiliating the player in case they do not score properly, or do not level up to the next level, or do not participate along with the team at their particular level. They would call them names, they would call them a loser, they would post about these particular acts in another social media chats, and make them actually lose their identity, their confidence, which will lead to various other dangers like social isolation. The the users who are cyberbullied would not like to come out, would not like to interact, would like to restrict them to their selves in their homes by absenting them from the school or to any other friend's place or any other place. It will lead to various health issues also, because they would stop eating, they would stop taking care of themselves, they would stop taking interest in any other activities because of this mental depression or depressing thoughts and all. At the same time, the continuous online harassment is still going on. The mental stress is there, and apart from that, the suicidal. It also leads them to think that their life is not worth living and leads to suicidal thoughts, and they can also harm themselves in the process of this particular cyberbullying. Next slide, please. So how does this happen? How does the cyberbullying happen? If we look at it, the phases is the adult or the child becomes a victim, in the sense, like, first of all, he actually goes onto the platform and he starts interacting in whatever online scenario it may be. And when found at the least of the instance, or for example, through the major through we can say that it is sometimes the human emotional factors um, like jealousy is one of the factor. We can say that it is also seen that it is not only because the person is not performing. In case the person is performing very better, just to pull down that particular person, there can be instances of people targeting that person because on based upon some other factor, a small factor which they can find. So these are real incidents which happen. So a person who is targeted in this online platform through the perpetrator, they use remarks and comments so bad and so harsh that these people start questioning their identities, and the adult or the child who may be the victim may be mercilessly trolled, targeted with humiliating and intimidating and derogatory online posts, which makes them depressed and think about suicidal thoughts and cause self-harm and those particular things. Next slide, please. So what are the few pointers? We have seen the dangers or the threats. Now, what are the few pointers or the warning signs that indicates the victimization, which parents and teachers or any caretakers can identify, saying that there's something wrong and they need to be taken care of? Recurrent health issues, or not eating well, avoiding school, college, isolating themselves, feeling depressed, sad, worried, agitated, becoming violent, not taking interest in any of the activities, especially the online games which they were most interested earlier, trying to avoid them. So all these are the pointers which suggest that this person or this child needs immediate attention and they need to be taken care of. Next slide, please. So again, let us look at the instances which tell us that cyberbullying is actually out there and is happening, and people are getting affected through it. So these are the few clippings which tells us about how cyberbullying is actually affecting the children and the people across India. It is not all fun and games online. Many who are addicted to online games have been victims of cyberbullying, have coped up with this particular stress, and some of them come out of it. Some of the people face the consequences, keep it to themselves. Some of them are actually depressed and cannot come out of it. There's a study also which has been published by a very popular research institute, which says that 7.9 children are bullied through electronic video games, and 85% of the Indian children. Another clipping in the newspaper says that 85% Indian children experiences cyberbullying, which is the highest globally. You can see the statistics which are given over here can say that to what extent people online face cyberbullying and how it is affecting them. As we talked earlier, I mean, children and adults alike are identifying their, social lives, or their identity itself becomes prominent with their presence in the online world, in the online gaming platform, because that is where they get to interact with the people. That is where they feel their presence is there. Their identity is actually seen. So when they are targeted on that particular platforms, they don't feel that their existence is anywhere outside. That is how, and when they are cyberbullied over there, they forget about the other factors which are, which make their existence meaningful, but limit themselves to that particular instant, and are so drawn down and so depressed that they are very, dangerously pulled into the cycle of depression and self-harm. Next slide, please. So what are the safe online practices that we can think of, which we can suggest the people to the people suffering from cyberbullying? So we can suggest that the people who are using the social media or the online gaming platform should and must be aware about the security and the privacy features on the social media accounts, and they should enable them and keep their privacy secured, and ensure that they are aware of these kind of threats. And also, when they are when they actually get to face this kind of incidences, understand that it is not their fault, understand that they need to limit their interaction, understand that their privacy is something very sensitive and very, valuable in an online world, and be aware of these particular security features which the online and the digital gadgets are providing, like privacy and the security features. Then apart from that, choosing the right tools, choosing the right online gaming platforms to interact upon, avoiding interacting with strangers. So these practices can help them. Apart from that, when actually a cyberbully is attacking you, first of all, identify that it is an attack which shows the mentality or the nature of the perpetrator. It is not about you. It is about them and their reaction and their attitude towards, in general, their attitudes in general, and not particular to you, and therefore do not take it personally. And if you face that, leave the discussion page and block the bully. When you find negative posts, you can also, inform the game moderator. There will be someone called game moderator. You can inform them about such kind of threats or posts, and then also take help of your parents or friends in actually strengthening your support and fighting it away. Never retaliate. Also, another major thing which everyone does when they are cyberbullied is they retaliate. They actually give out their reaction. This is what they feed upon. This is what the bully feeds upon and creates a scenario out of it. So the another factor is never retaliate to the provocative comments of the bully. Understand that others' reaction is not your fault. Reach out for help and talk to the parents and the friends. Save the evidence and the screenshots referring to the incident to actually show it later, and pin down the bully and say that actually that is the problem and not you. Immediately report about it to the social media or the online gaming moderator and take steps so that you are safe, not concentrating upon the bully. Next
Right.
slide, please.
Ma'am, we are left with only 2 more minutes, so like we have to wrap up the session. So can I
Okay.
just
We'll
take
go
our
to the
viewers
last
through the
slide,
slides?
ma'am. We will go to the secured practices.
Yes.
Get away.
So we can just show the slides to our viewers, so that they can actually go through them later when the session will be uploaded fully. Right, ma'am? Because we're left with only 2 more minutes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So let's have a look at the slides which ma'am has prepared. So this one is about cyberbullying. What does law say? So can we have the PPT on screen? Yes. So definitely our viewers can go through the same, because this is very important content. Can we just show the slides in full, please? So this is about cyberbullying. That's what the law says. And ma'am, simultaneously, would you like to add something while we are
Yes,
showing the
ma'am.
slides? Yes.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of lack of time,
Yeah.
because once I start speaking, then it will, continue. So online grooming is one of the major thing. In fact, there are many instances in the online world wherein, especially because in the current scenario, when the parents are out of the house, and the children are also out of the house, when they come back, they don't find parents for 2 to 3 hours, and at that point of time, when they are exposed to social media or online gaming platforms where there are online predators are no other persons but this online cyber fraudsters, who are on a lookout for victims, like children who are gullible, who are naive, whom they can actually sexually exploit, and they can also financially exploit them and take advantage of them. So it is important that parents recognize that there are perpetrators like this who actually target children on the gaming platforms and take their information,
Right.
and interact with them as they are small children, as they are also small children, and then see to it that they gain their confidence and exploit them sexually, mentally, psychologically, and put them through various threats.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, now we are
So,
running short of time, so we have to
yeah,
wind up the session over here. But we would like to thank you for your contribution to the session. You showed,
thank you, ma'am.
how it is extremely important to be safe. Otherwise, there are bullies that can actually drag you towards the fatal end of the life. But, ma'am, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that was our session on day 4, cyberbullying, online grooming and related threats with security measures was the topic. And we had our expert Miss P. Simi with us. Well, it's now time for me to wrap up the session over here. Tomorrow we will come with another topic on day 5. And before I leave, let's quickly take a look at the live schedule, what we are going to have. So this is the list of the programs that we uploaded, and you can watch them later. In a short while from now, you can watch Sahyog, that is about career information planning for your future. With that, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you. Namaskar.